Now, I don't do these sort of rant, ramble, monologue videos very often, if ever at all, but I decided to record this morning because I am irked by the amount of just bullshit misinformation around Linux and exploits, specifically around the WannaCry exploit that happened on Windows. Seems like I've been seeing a lot of people throwing around this list of CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exposures. Now, the first time I ran into this was actually on Twitter. Scott Hanselman retweeted this post from Ben Adams showing this list of vulnerabilities with Linux and Linux distros at the top. I thought it was a cute attempt for a Windows apologist to try to take a swing at Linux right after, Windows just completely shit the bed with its vulnerabilities. I posted the tweet to rlinux where it was downvoted into oblivion, which was fine, and a lot of the commenters had really good points. Specifically around the fact that Windows and Microsoft products are going to naturally have lower known vulnerabilities because the source is closed, which means researchers can't search through it on their own like they can with Linux. That being aside, that fundamental fact has been lost on most people that have been sharing this list of CVEs out there. The thing that irritates me the most is the apologists that share this list saying that Linux is less secure than Microsoft are quick to point out that, wait, look, the Linux kernel is number 1. Debian is number 7, Android is number 8, Windows 7 is all the way at number 17. So if you take the handful of seconds required to actually dig into these vulnerabilities, you'll quickly see that the vast majority of these are DDoS attacks. Attacks specifically designed to bring down a machine, not hack into it like the WannaCry exploit did. Many other exploits deal with an unprivileged user gaining access to privileged hardware information via exploits. And another thing is that a lot of these exploits are little more than crashes and buggy code. For example, on the first page of the security vulnerabilities for Debian Linux, there's an entire section dedicated to image magic and bugs causing it to crash from images being too large and other things. So there's two things I'm trying to point out with this video. First off, not all exploits and vulnerabilities are created equally. What you and I consider a bug in image magic could be considered a bug by security people. If an attacker were to give you an image that was somehow larger than your system thought it was, it could crash image magic. That sort of exploit isn't even near the same category as the WannaCry exploit that happened with Windows systems. And the final point I want to make is that Linux is open source. Anybody can dig through the code and find exploits. Most of the applications for Linux are open source. Anybody can dig through those applications and look for exploits. The same is not true with Windows nor most Microsoft products. This list of CVEs shows the known vulnerabilities for a specific product, being the Linux kernel or Safari or Windows Vista or so on. The keyword is known vulnerabilities. If you have a closed source application like, Windows or something like that, then the source is closed. The only people that are going to report the vulnerabilities are the people that have the source. So why on earth would Microsoft report vulnerabilities before they are patched? Notice that Windows XP is sitting at number 16, but Windows 8.1 is at 41. That's probably due to the fact that vulnerabilities that surfaced for Windows 10 and Windows 8 went unpatched with later versions because they're no longer supported, which drove that version of Windows, being XP or 7, towards the top of this list. Microsoft is not going to disclose unpatched vulnerabilities, whereas with Linux, people can just peruse the code and find vulnerabilities. Those vulnerabilities will go unpatched until some person in the community or some company in the community patches them. That being said, if you're one of the people that have posted this list of vulnerabilities to try to prove that Linux is less secure than Windows, just stop it. It's extremely ignorant, and it only serves to make you look foolish. Both Linux and Windows have vulnerabilities. That is a known fact. But the bottom line is that we don't know how exploitable Windows is because we don't have access to the source. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that you learned something. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate your support and thanks for watching.